Hi everyone, welcome back to the Guy Gunter Home Kitchen Studios. I'm Chef Christan Willis, and today we're gonna be making one of my all-time favorite spring dishes. It's a crispy Airline chicken breast served with sous vide spring vegetables that are also in season, served with my favorite celery root puree, topped with a soy beer reduction. This is gonna be so fun to make, and we're doing this all in our signature kitchen suite appliances today. All right, you guys, so I'm so excited to get started. Now we're cooking. All right, so first things first, let's start with the star of the dish, which is our Airline chicken breast, which I've already pre-marinated, and so they're sitting in our refrigerator. So walk with me over here. This has amazing French doors that are beautiful, easy to open, and we've got our already marinated chicken breasts ready to go. They've been patted dry. So the thing about this chicken, I left the skin on because I want it to be super crispy. So we're gonna turn our range on, and the thing I love about this range is that it heats up so quickly. I mean, within a matter of seconds, it's already hot. So we're gonna get our pan going. A nice medium heat is what we want. We're just gonna add a couple tablespoons of olive oil. There we go. And what I'm looking for is a nice shimmer. So when I see that shimmer in the pan, I know our chicken is ready to go and skin down. So I'm gonna toss this around, coat it nice and evenly. Got that. So we've got our pan nice and hot, and what I wanna do is take skin side down. We're gonna just take it off our rack. And what we're looking for is a nice sizzle, which it's getting there, And we're gonna make sure that our crust on our chicken is nice and golden brown. So I'm gonna pan sear for about 5 to 7 minutes and see how we're looking. All right, so it's been about 5 to 7 minutes, and we're just gonna gently flip our Airline chicken breast. That nice golden brown texture is what we're looking for, and the color is amazing. I think that's perfect. Crispy skin is what we're looking for, nice and juicy. So we're gonna let this hang out for a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and pop it in the oven. All right, so now that we have our chicken nice and crispy, skin side down, all I'm going to do is just season it with a little salt and pepper on the outside. Give that a nice little touch, and now we're gonna pop it in our oven. So the really cool thing about this oven, it's wall mounted, but I've already preheated it on my phone. So I've got it at 425 convection roast, and we're just gonna take our pan that we used on the stovetop directly into our oven. And I'm gonna put this right in the middle, just to allow for even cooking, and we're gonna let it do its thing for about 15 minutes. All right, so now it's time for the second part of our dish, and this is where our vegetables are gonna shine, because I have some great spring vegetables. I've already vacuum sealed them with a little butter, seasoning, and white wine. So we've got some great carrots, we've got some great fresh peas, broccolini, and green beans. The cool thing about this range is that it's so unique because it has an amazing sous vide. And this is something that you usually see in restaurants, but this is a great feature because now you can do this at home. So we've got our vacuum sealed vegetables. It's just this easy. We're taking our sous vide vegetables, placing it in our water bath, and then closing it up. And we're going to set the temperature for 185 degrees, and we're gonna let our sous vide do its thing for about 10 minutes. So now that we have our spring vegetables in our amazing sous vide, let's move on to our sauce. So this sauce, it's gonna be a nice, sweet, tangy, umami type of sauce, and it's one of my favorites to make because it's only a couple ingredients. So it's a stout with a little bit of soy sauce, some great aromas in there, and a little finishing touches for sweetness. So we're gonna start with our induction burner, and this is a great addition to this oven because I feel like it creates an even cooking time. So we're gonna take our pot, turn our induction burner on, and I'm gonna go for about a medium heat here, and we're gonna add our beer, and I have 1 cup of stout with about 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce, straight into the pot. And our sweetness is gonna come from our brown sugar. So I have about 1/3 cup of brown sugar. Place that right in there. And I like a little kick, something different is a little bit of mustard powder. So this is 2 tablespoons of that with a little, we're just gonna take a little pinch of salt and pepper, just because. So we're gonna get that going, let that create a nice little reduction, and that's gonna be the base for our sauce. All right, so we've got all of our ingredients into our pot. We're just gonna give that a nice little whisk. And a great thing to thicken our sauce, we're gonna add butter. I mean, who doesn't love butter with your sauce? So we're gonna take about 2 cubes of butter, whisk that in, and it's gonna get nice and thick. So this is gonna cook for, I wanna cook this maybe about 7 minutes on our stovetop and then turn it on low. So a cool way to test your sauce to make sure that it's thick enough, just take the back of your spoon and just gently toss it and just see if it coats the back of the spoon. So that right there tells me that we're at a good place and our sauce is ready. All right, so now it's time for our celery root puree. So I've already blanched our celery root, so it's nice and tender. All you're gonna do is add this to our pot. So we've got about 2 cups of celery root there, and I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of our vegetable stock. And this is just the stock from the celery root. I love this because it gives it a different type of flavor. It has this, it's seasonal, so it's bright, it's refreshing, and I think it pairs really well with our chicken. All right, so we've got our celery root going right now. I'm just gonna make sure it's nice and hot for us, and I'm gonna go ahead and season it. We're gonna keep it really simple. Just a little salt and pepper will go a long way with this. So got 3 pinches of that. And once it's at a good place, nice and soft, very fork tender, we're gonna blend it. So now we have our celery root nice and soft. We're gonna add this to our blender. Just gonna pour it in here. Right. All right, so we've got our celery root, our vegetable stock, and I'm just gonna finish it off with a little butter just to add some consistency since we're not adding any heavy cream. That will kind of be our fat for that. And then we're gonna blend. All right, so now we're at our last step. We're gonna pull our vegetables out of our sous vide. So they're at a perfect temperature, nice and warm. Gonna go ahead and cut our bag. And I've already turned our heat on our pan to like a medium high because I want it to be nice and crispy. We're gonna add a little bit of olive oil. So we've got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here, and I'm gonna add some fresh garlic. This is about 1½ cloves. So we're gonna swirl this in our pan, get the nice aromas going, get that garlic flavor infused into the olive oil. And once that's nice and hot, we're gonna add our vegetables. So the great thing about this sous vide is that we put it at 185 and it won't go over that. So that's really great. So it keeps our vegetables nice and tender, won't overcook them, and also keeps them nice and vibrant. So our peas are great, our green beans, our broccolini, and our carrots are at a great texture. So really all you need to do is just finish it off in the pan, which I think that's amazing and so simple. All right, so we've got our garlic, it's toasting nicely, and we're just gonna go straight into the pan. Okay, awesome. The colors look bright, they look so fresh. I'm super excited. And I'm just gonna hit this with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we're done. All right, so now we have all of our components. We have our sous vide springtime vegetables, we have our celery root puree, and then we also have our stout reduction. Last but not least is our chicken, so we're gonna go ahead and pull that out. And it's perfect, it's nice and golden brown, cooked all the way through. And I think now we're ready to plate. All right, so we're on to my favorite part, which is the plating. This is the most exciting part because we get to see all of our creations come together. I want to start with our celery root puree, and I'm just going to gently place this at the bottom of our plate. Let's see if we can get a little bit more going. So the whole purpose of this is so that each bite you get a little bit of everything. So puree on the bottom, and next we're going to take our vegetables that we've sous vide. We've got carrots, we've got our asparagus, we've got our green beans. And we're just gonna place that right in the middle. Right, so we've got a little bit of peas in there as well. So that looks great. And we're gonna take our perfectly cooked chicken. So we're gonna do the airline side up first and just kind of place it however you like. I think that looks great. And the best part about this is that we get to take our stout glaze and just drizzle that all over our chicken. This is really great because each bite is gonna have a little bit of freshness, a little bit of our tangy umami soy glaze, and our bright celery root puree. So now that we have this, I really like to garnish at the end because that's when the herbs are just like the most pungent. So we've got a little bit of dill. And the dill is really interesting because it's just gonna brighten up our dish a little bit. And I have a little bit of scallion, which I'm just gonna place a little bit around there. And I'm gonna finish it off with a little bit of lime. So this lime is just gonna wake up our chicken. I think it goes great with our reduction because of the beer in it. So we've got that. So there you have it. I mean, this dish is so amazing. It's great to look at. I can't wait to take a bite, and I hope that you guys have learned something using our great signature kitchen sweet line. Definitely try it out if you want to take your cooking to the next level. Thanks for watching.